All right, so welcome to another video. Today we're going to check out Moderna, and Moderna is doing fairly well right now after the recent earnings report. I'm going to give you some thoughts, but keep in mind none of these are recommendations to buy, sell, or trade anything. It's just my own personal opinion. So let's kick things off, and if you want to grab my opinion, you can go ahead and do so at the Discord channel. We've got some stuff from general chat to stock movers and some trading tips and tidbits that I give you some insight on. So check that out. Its link is in the description. You can, of course, go into our website and go to the Traders Fly site. There's a lot of freebies there and some live classes that we're kind of doing as well. One is called Risk Array that we're doing this week. Okay, so let's look at Moderna here. And as we check out Moderna, you can see the sales. They're basically expecting at least 19 billion in COVID sales and vaccines and all that. So that all looks fairly good. However, the stock has been going down quite a bit lately, and that is a bit of a problem. So anyways, earnings, they look good. That all looks great, but from the chart perspective, we've been struggling. So if we go in and just start now looking at maybe the weekly chart, you can see here this stock's been doing well over that 2020, 2021 year. So it's been running up fairly nicely, but recently we've got this downward move that's been happening. So it had a good run up. Now we got a little pullback. So the question is where are we going to base and how's that going to kind of pan out there? So what we want to do is kind of take a look at it. So here we've been creating kind of these lower highs, and that's not really good. However, as we've been going down right here, you can see we're trying to base a little bit more around this $150 price range. Now that 150 price range seems like a good solid support because number one, the psychology behind it. Number two, it's starting to kind of round here. So some people say, hey man, this is amazing. It's party time, but maybe not yet. It is only the first day after earnings. And I always say, give it a couple of days for the stock to digest the move to really see what's going to happen. But we are starting to do a little bit of a turn. Right, we're slowing down some speed, volume starting to pick up. The bearish volume is also declining a little bit. So we're starting to create this rounding bottom, possibly for a little bit of an upside move. I'm not saying it's going to start moving all the way up, but maybe we could get to a 200. So for now, we've just kind of been going down fairly quickly, but now that's starting to slow down. So this is where the positivity could start to come in. The other thing to kind of watch is, look, here we've got a little bit of a possible triangle pattern compression going on. And this is why I say, hey, this is possible with a little bit of this also bullish volume that's coming into play. So this right there could start the trend. But is it early? Yeah, it's probably a little early. And this is why in situations like this, you'd probably look more to do a little bit of a nibble, much more so than you would rather do something like being too aggressive into it. So this could be a nibbling opportunity, but it would be one that you'd want to take a little bit more caution into because when you nibble, if instead of getting 1,000 shares, you're getting like 100 shares, or instead of 100 shares, you're getting like 10 shares. Let's nibble a little, and then you kind of add to it. So that's really what you're looking at here when it comes to Moderna, if you're interested in the stock. My one big concern with this is, like, if you take a look at these stocks, I wonder if the coronavirus thing will die down soon, right? This was a lot of hype. This was a lot of the corona stuff. I wonder if this will kind of die down a bit. So let's say we're dying down, we'll go sideways. Then again, it'll slowly kind of die down. Maybe they'll get some new drugs and that kind of stuff. But when you look at some of those drug companies, like even Pfizer and so on, for a long period of time, they really don't do a lot, right? They kind of go sideways between this $30 and $45. And again, I'm just talking Pfizer, but I'm just saying if it's a company that's kind of really growing, then yeah, that's innovating. That's great. But what happens if coronavirus goes away? So that is my concern a little bit with Moderna, or some of these drug companies, is that maybe we get this sideways decade. I don't know, but that is a bit of the concern. So it could, for a trade, you could get a little bit of a bounce. There's some higher levels here, and it could be nice and volatile for those spikes. But after that, you want to be a little bit more cautious in trades like this because you don't know if they're going to really pan out and last for the next 10 years. It could be good for a couple of years, 5 years, but if things die down, there's less worry in the market, then it could be a little bit more troublesome for the stock. So just be careful about it from that perspective. Other than that, this is a nice starting point. From the earnings side, it looks pretty good. And then we'll see what it becomes of it from here and how it continues to kind of develop, because we've got some movement in action, but one day doesn't make a trend. Just like here, we went up 3 days and then stock sold off, went up a day, sold off. So be careful. Don't jump in too quickly head first until you allow things to digest. And this is where you might nibble rather than getting a full position. Anyway, thanks for joining me. Feel free to check out the Discord channel if you want to request a specific stock ticker or symbol. Also check out the Traderfly channel where we do a lot of live classes, courses, and where I can work with you one-on-one as well. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you next time.